The type panels in Illustrator CC are hidden by default. You have to go and find them. So in this movie, I'm going to show you where to find them and how to use them. Let's go up to the window menu here, go down into this big list of panels that we have access to, and go to type and just choose character. That's going to bring up most of the type panels that we need. The character, the paragraph, and the open type panels. We're also missing the character styles and the paragraph styles. Let's go to window. Let's go back down to type. Let's open up the character styles panel. That'll open up both character and paragraph styles. And we can just make sure that we dock those to the bottom like that. And then usually in my workspace, when I'm working normally, I'll have these docked over here and I'll put them in icon form so that I can easily get to them whenever I need them. And these type panels are very powerful. They have lots of different options that we can use. So in this case, let's select the Great Justini type that we have here, and let's open up the character panel. And in the character panel, we have lots of different options, but we have even more options hidden inside of this little dropdown. So let's choose Show Options, and that's going to give me the full character panel. This is where I can do a lot of stuff. I can change the typeface, I can change the style, I can change the font size, I can set the kerning, I can change vertical scale, baseline shift, character rotation, horizontal scale, tracking, leading, and then also at the bottom I have controls for all caps, small caps, superscript, subscript, underline, and strike through. So for this type right here, I think I want to do all caps. That way it's all capital, looks a little bit more bold, a little bit more like what I'm going for the look of this poster. And so I'll just apply that. I also think that the letters are a little too tight together. So let's increase the tracking just a little bit here. Let's drop this down and let's add in about 10 for the tracking. Maybe even a little bit more. Maybe 15, something like that. If you don't know what tracking is, it's basically spacing out the characters across this whole thing of type, whereas kerning is reducing the space or expanding the space in between two individual characters. This does it across the board, all the way across a group of text. Now, in addition to this, I want to make some changes to the text underneath here. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and adjust the leading amount here, and we'll just go ahead and start expanding this out. You can see by making that change that it automatically kind of spread it out a little too far. So let's bring that back up quite a bit and set this to somewhere around, I think 25 works really well. And then we'll close up the box, something like that. And let's expand out the tracking a little bit for this one as well. There we go. And you could also, instead of just using the leading feature, you could go in and add space after a paragraph. In this case, you could do that from the paragraph panel. Paragraph panel is also a very powerful panel. You can control how the text is aligned, so left, center, right, justified with last line aligned left, justified with last line aligned center, justified with last line aligned right, and justify all the lines. This is also where you can control things like hyphenation, so you can turn that off. You can control left indent, first line indent, right indent, space before and space after paragraphs, and if you go into the drop-down, you can hide the options, and that will just sort of collapse any extra options that it has in there. You also have controls for Roman hanging punctuation, justification, hyphenation, and you can reset the panel from there as well. The open type panel only applies to open type fonts, so we don't have to worry about that in this case. But if we had an open type font that we could customize, we would use this to create things like extra ligatures and real fancy swash caps and things like that. But for now, I think we're just going to leave that alone. You also have access to the paragraph and character styles panels. This allows you to take a piece of text and turn it into a character or a paragraph style. So for instance, this right here would be a great paragraph style for a heading. So I'll go into the paragraph styles, click New, paragraph style 1, double click. We'll just call this heading. Save that. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to select this paragraph first. We'll call this info heading. And this, we'll call this info paragraph. There we go. So now we've got 3 different styles. If we wanted to create a character styles are mainly meant for individual pieces of text or text that lies within a greater body of text. In this case, we just have big, bold headlines, nothing in a paragraph or anything like that needs to be italicized or have its color changed or anything like that, so we don't have to worry about it. So for now, I think we're pretty good to go on that. So the type panels in Illustrator, as long as you have them out on your screen, you can access them relatively quickly, and they have great power. As you can see right here, our design is really coming along as we continue to customize it, and it's only going to get better as we go along.